Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to this week's Kabbalat Shabbat. It's my great pleasure to invite David to give us a Devar Torah.
Thank you, Stuart. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I just thought I'd let you into one or two items of our family history. Tomorrow morning, Parashat Vayishlach happens to be Vivian's father's bar mitzvah sedra. And a month ago, Parashat Vayera was my dad's bar mitzvah sedra. So I'd like to say these few words in memory of those two, in memory of Vivian's father, Reb Yaakov and Reb Lev, and in memory of my dad, Reb Yitzchak ben Reb Shlomo Zalman. May their memories be for a blessing. Tomorrow morning's Sedra, Vayishlach, contains one of the most peculiar, puzzling incidents in the whole of the Torah. Jacob is on his way to meet Esau. He's not seen him for years, and goodness only knows what's going to happen to him when he meets him. And he sends his family ahead, and he's left there. And on his own, this stranger appears, and Jacob has a fight with him. And he fights all night long. He fights until daybreak. And then it seems when whoever he is, the stranger sees he can't beat Jacob, he touches the hollow of his thigh. So the stranger touches the hollow of him, Jacob's thigh, and that's that. And Jacob has a limp. Okay. And the struggle between Jacob and this stranger, as I said, appears to be, is one of the most enigmatic portions of the Torah. According to the rabbis of the Midrash, the stranger was an angel, and he was Esau's guardian angel. But, what's it all about? Why did it take place? Who is the stranger? Who else could he be? Where's he come from? Where's he going? What are we supposed to get from it? What's it supposed to mean for us? And obviously, as you can imagine, those are all questions which have occupied our commentators throughout the ages. But I'd just like to refer to the comments of two leading medieval Jewish scholars, because they differed very strongly in regard to this, but not only in regard to this, but also in regard to many other similar narratives in the Torah. Authority one, Maimonides, the Ramban, says that all these things, all these meetings between human beings and angels are all visions. They never took place. In reality, it never happened. They're all visions. The rationalist in Maimonides says, this didn't happen. But they're all visions or dreams. On the other hand, the Ramban, to complicate matters a bit further, Ramban with a N at the end, Nachmanides, says that this is not correct, and that these encounters with supernatural beings and angels and whatnot actually did take place, and they are historical events. And not only that, but he strongly attacks Maimonides for holding the position that he holds. One of the questions for example, he says, if this didn't happen, how come Jacob had a limp the day after? How come this whole to-do with Jacob's thigh and all that business that we know from the old Bible stories? And if this isn't true, then neither are when Abraham is recovering from his Brit Milah and the angels visit him at the beginning of Parashat Vayera, which, as I mentioned, happens to be my dad's bar mitzvah sedra, that didn't happen either. According to Maimonides, that's also a dream, but Nachmanides says, no, that's not the case. And not only that, Nachmanides says, anybody who goes along with Maimonides is treading a very dangerous path, because he says these words contradict scripture. Not only is it forbidden to listen to them, but it's even forbidden to, and it's all the more so, I should say, it is forbidden to believe in them. Well, that says maybe. But despite all of that, you should take the view, I suppose, that even Maimonides would certainly, okay, it was a vision, it didn't happen, it's a vision, but what's it all about? How do you explain it? What's it supposed to be about? Now, throughout his commentary on the Torah, Nachmanides takes a view that the actions of our forefathers are omens for their descendants. It's a well-known phrase or saying in Hebrew, Masei avot siman labanim, which means that our forefathers were creating patterns for future Jewish history. And according to Nachmanides, Jacob's fight with Esau's guardian angel sets a pattern for the future of Jewish history. And the Ramban says there would come a time when the descendants of Esau would overcome Jacob almost to the point of total destruction. And he quotes at the times of the days of the Mishnah. But he also goes on to say there are also other generations who did such things to us and worse than this. But we endured all, and it passed us by, as can be seen in a text later on. Because later on, when all this business is over, we get to sort of roundabout Revi Hamishi time in the laning tomorrow. There's something that says Vayavo Yaakov Shalem Ishchem, and Jacob came Shalem. We'll come to Shalem. He came to Shalem. Came to the city of Shechem, Shalem. And Shalem, says Nachmanides, can be read as whole or perfect. It's a pun on shalom as well. He came in peace, but it's the Ramban says it can also be read as whole or perfect. So according to the Ramban, homiletically, we can understand that phrase, that sentence as saying Jacob emerged from the ordeal unscathed. Now, so to Nachmanides, this story is an indication of the Jews' struggle to survive in the diaspora. Wounded Thigh represents all the righteous and innocent victims of anti-Semitism. Nevertheless, the pattern of Jewish survival, whatever the odds, has clearly endured throughout our history. And there was a Polish rabbi called Rabbi Menachem Zvi Eisenstadt, a Polish-born rabbi who passed away in 1966, and he published an edition of Nachmanides' commentary on the Torah. He only managed, I think, to do Bereshit. He didn't get round to doing the other four. But in Bereshit, he writes a footnote. It is in 1958. He writes a footnote on our verse here. And he says, and we in the generation of Hitler, well, it was 1958, and we in the generation of Hitler were treated perversely by the descendants of Esau, in this case, the Nazis, who decimated the pillars of our nation. Nevertheless, they were unable to totally destroy us, and God allowed a remnant to escape to continue the line of our people. Once again, we are witness Ma'aseh Avot Siman Levanim, that the actions of our forefathers are as an omen for their descendants. And I think from those words, from that sentence, and those views, emerge what is a positive message, which we can take into these very dark and difficult times. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shkach, David. Thank you very much. It's now my pleasure to invite Robert to lead us in Kabbalah Shabbat.
Thank you all. Thank you, David.